Hi there. On today's episode, we turn the key and find out which one of us will be the next victim of the monkey. The drums start playing on today's episode of Straight to POD.
I'm Charlie.
I'm Chris.
And I'm Eddie. This is Straight to POD. All right. So definitely a lot of monkey films that be coming out. I don't know if that's a sign, but we're going along with it. And I think. What do you think about like the monkey movies overall? Huh? You think some of them hit, some of them miss? I didn't watch the Monkey Rockstar one, the
Better
Bob Dylan
Man.
one. Yeah, you all watched it.
I
Uh
watched half of it this weekend with some friends,
huh.
and it was a rough time.
Okay, well that's
Oh,
bad.
really?
Yeah.
I thought it would be better,
What
but I guess not.
what like movie wise or just like the fact that he's a monkey or like
I mean the fact that he's
just
a
because
monkey is just like,
you're not into the artist.
well, first of all, I don't even know. I don't think I've even heard of the artist, like his music before watching the movie.
No, I feel like you would know Bob Dylan. Like I think he has a
Robbie,
word.
no, Robbie Williams,
Oh, Robbie Williams. Sorry.
the like the UK. He's like famous all everywhere in the world except the US, essentially. Like,
Makes sense.
yeah, but it's a weird. It's like, what if we made a movie, but the guy is a monkey instead of just a normal biopic?
Yeah, that's weird,
But
right?
then it's like telling someone that this person is super famous and you having like literally not really knowing about this person. It's like this person is famous enough to have a movie, but most people in America probably don't even know who it is. It's kind of it's a weird situation, right?
Yeah, it is. This is about Robbie Williams. Who? Who?
Who? Well, we also had Kingdom of Planet of the Apes, Godzilla, Monkey Man, and Wicked. Wicked is not a monkey movie, but it had monkeys in it. Uh,
That's a monkey
you know
movie for
what?
like 20 minutes.
I mean, it really was. I mean, I felt bad for the disfigurement of these monkeys, poor monkeys. It felt really bad. Like I could feel the pain in their
They
transition. I was like,
Oh yeah.
this
correct.
feels
Yeah.
disgusting.
It was a monkey movie
Um,
because, animal cruelty was definitely a part of the movie.
yeah. Well, out of all of them, I think Monkey Man will probably have been the best so far. Godzilla Kong sucked. Kingdom of Planet of the Apes, just because I don't have the context, but I think you all fairly enjoyed it. Um,
Yeah,
and
it
granted,
wasn't bad.
none of these are horror films. These are all in itself different films with Monkey either being protagonist or in the movie, but they're all different movies. One's a musical, one's sci-fi, one's action, one's a biography, I guess. And this is a horror film. So I guess the archetype is very versatile. So with that, I guess we'll start reviewing the monkey. Uh, Chris, Charlie, Charlie, Chris, Charlie. You want to give us the synopsis?
Yeah. Yeah. When twin brothers Bill and Hal find their father's old monkey toy in the attic, a series of gruesome deaths start. The siblings decide to throw the toy away and move on with their lives, growing apart over the years. This was directed by Oscar Perkins, who did Long Legs and Gretel and Hansel. And it had Theo James, who played Hal and Bill, Tatiana Maslany, who played Lois, and Colin O'Brien, who played Petey.
Thanks, Charlie. Uh, who's Lois?
Their mom, also
Oh,
She-Hulk, which I found out after
oh,
watching
okay.
the
I was like,
movie.
I thought
You
he
didn't
was talking
recognize
about.
She-Hulk
Yeah, no.
right away?
I thought when you said mom, their mom, I thought the kid's mom. And I was like, she didn't have a role in this. It was like a 5 minute. Why don't you get credit?
I mean,
Anyway,
there was only like three characters in this movie,
yeah, that's what I'm saying.
so Like at least the
four
main
characters, but
characters.
3 actors.
Yeah.
But anyway,
including the
spoiler-free
She-Hulk.
thoughts, including the She-Hulk. Spoiler-free thoughts on this. I think it was good. I think it was all right. I think it was different. I never read the original score, like the original story, and this is Stephen King's story. I even know.
Mm-hmm.
It's a short story actually. It's like
of that
think it's like-
that it's a short story.
yeah, it's like 42 pages long, so it's
Oh shoot! And they made an hour and a half movie. It's
yeah.
like that's pretty, not bad. I like how they just kind of get into it. Not a lot. I was really confused at the beginning, but then I eventually got it. And you don't really. It doesn't do much. Like it's a straightforward movie, and it gets right into it, and it's well paced. I think the actors did a good job. I think the aspects of this movie that we'll get into is different. I think like we're getting a lot of this recently, and maybe it's good. It's a hit and miss for me. It just depends. And we could go over that. I go over what I mean later. But Chris, what about you? What did you think?
Yeah, I kind of agree with you. I thought this was just all right. It's like it's kind of like a fun dark comedy where it's like people die in it, but like they die in like absurd ways, or like it's like a normal like death, but like something it's like over the top how they die. Like one person like, oh, they just explode. Like you probably wouldn't have exploded from doing that, but okay. Just like kind of like absurdist comedy, dark comedy. And I would say, well, I didn't love Oz Perkins, his long legs that much. I do kind of appreciate like that he's doing like different types of movies. Like Long Legs is super different than this, and so is Gretel and Hansel. Like definitely different vibes to them. Like this is way more of a dark comedy compared to Long Legs, which is more like a serious kind of like a serial
Yeah.
killer hunting movie.
Yeah.
So I do appreciate that from him. And I don't know, I guess I like some of the deaths they were kind of fun, but I kind of wish there were more interesting ones, at least at the later half of the movie. I also wasn't expecting like the kid, like they had like a flashback to like when they were kids. Like that was a lot of this movie, like when they were kids, more than I expected it to be, which is
Yeah.
interesting. Yeah, that's about it for this one. What about you, Charlie?
I think, yeah, similar thoughts. This movie was all right. There's nothing that like necessarily blew me away, right? But it was fun. It was a fun, I don't want to say fun little movie, but like I mean it's based off a short story, so I'm sure it's a fun little story too, right? Um but I am motivated to read the short story to see if there's like if it's any better or any worse kind of thing, and see how that translates to how they made like an hour and a half movie off of like 40 pages. um but yeah, it was all right. I wish there were more, I don't want to say more deaths, but just like they just cut away. They cut
I
away
want
to
more death.
they cut away to them so quickly. Right? Did we only see like 2 or 3 of them in like full?
Mhm.
That it's just like, oh, okay, well, okay, somebody died. That's nice, right? And then you're just like, oh, we're back to like the main part of the story, which is them trying to, figure out the monkey and like, figure out how to get rid of it, or the kind of main conflict between the brothers. And yeah, and in this movie, Eddie was like, who is that? I know that guy. And it's the guy from the Insurgent or like Divergent series, whatever movies those were.
The main guy?
Yeah, the main guy.
Oh, I never watched those.
You never watched those? Oh, they
No,
never finished.
They never finished it.
They
So
never
why
finished
they-
them. But
Oh,
that's
they
where-
didn't?
No, they
No.
never did.
Oh, that's
You know, for being a
dumb.
huge fan, you know, it's weird that you don't know that they
I
did.
was a huge fan, not of the books, of the movies.
Well, you should know that they didn't finish the movies. Um, but yeah, he was in it. She-Hulk was in it. So it was and She-Hulk was a lot better. Or not, I want to say She-Hulk. Tatiana was a lot better in this movie than she was in She-Hulk. So I'm not sure where the where things get lost in translation or something. But yeah, just a couple more gory deaths I would have appreciated. And but the ones that we did see, I did appreciate. And it's just like a fun hour and a half. I'm glad it wasn't stretched like 2 or 2.5 hours or something ridiculous like that. It's a fun like hour and a half movie where you're just like where it's just kind of kooky enough that you can get into it and stay invested through the whole thing, even though it's not gonna like it's not gonna blow your mind or anything like that. As far as um other movies Osgood Perkins has done, right? I really like Long Legs. So glad he was like part of involved in this project as well. I've never seen Gretel and Hansel, but I don't know if it's similar vibes or different vibes.
It's more darker,
Yeah,
like Long Legs.
yeah, but it's been what, we're like 2 months in to the year, and we got two kind of pretty comedic horror movies that weren't like completely terrible, like Night Swim or any of the other ones from last year. Um,
Night
so
Swim. That's wild.
I appreciate it. I appreciate it. We're kind of starting off this year strong.
Yeah. Yeah. So with that, we'll go into spoilers. Um, yeah, kind of going off what you said, Charlie. It's these horror films that we're getting seem a little bit different. Granted, the Hard Eyes was a romantic comedy with a scary twist. This seems like a comedy with a horror twist. Um, but it's not so overwhelming that it takes away from the film. Chris, like you mentioned, these kills on this are just so extreme. Um, because the idea is that there's a when the monkey plays its drum, and if it stops playing its drum, somebody dies just completely at random. So it's coming. But it's funny how everything gets like it's like a weird it's like Final Destination where
Mm-hmm.
everything gets set up around the death prior to the death actually happening. So you're just kind of guessing like what's gonna happen until like the moment that it happens. And then once you kind of figure out it's gonna happen, the deaths are just so unexpected. The one that threw me off was there was one uh this lady was swimming in the was gonna jump swim in the hotel,
Yep.
but uh I guess air conditioner unit fell into the water. It's still plugged in, so the water got electrified. She didn't notice, so she like was jumping in, but she literally exploded. Like she popped like a balloon. So body parts were everywhere. And I was like, I don't know if that's actually how that would happen
Yeah.
in
That
real
was the one I was
life,
talking about. Yeah.
but that, that just seemed like it wasn't expected that this whole thing would just blow up and be like, oh my gosh. And the guy's like, oh, I'm covered in blood now. Like, I don't know what to do.
Like multiple
Like,
times, like he's just covered in blood.
yeah. Uh, the other one was like, there's a real estate agent who's just trying to sell the house of his aunt, or like his aunt who took him over as like, because she died based on the monkey too. And then just trying to open the door, and then she opens the door and bam, shotgun to the freaking through the face and just explodes her face.
Like he knew something was gonna happen, right?
But it's
Her
like I
like
was like,
find
I
trying to
wasn't
find the
expecting
keys. Yeah.
I wasn't expecting her entire face to be like her entire head to be completely blown off. I don't know what kind of caliber that gun had, but I don't think any regular gun would do like blow your entire decapitate you entirely. Like,
And
so that's what I mean.
he had like half a finger in his mouth.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which I would throw up immediately at
Mhm.
that that aspect. Also, like the pool lady. First of all, what do you like swim? Like, what are you swimming for at like 3 in the morning?
Night swim.
Night
Back to
swim.
night swim.
And but besides that, it's like you explode except for everything, except for your leg, which like does a shoots right at him where he has to dodge. But that was wild. I thought she was just gonna get electrocuted, but no, she just exploded. So that was nice. That was
Yeah,
nice.
same with like the babysitter getting in the hibachi grill. Like her head just cut clean off
Yeah,
somehow.
that's a sharp knife. And how
Yeah.
like is she leaning forward? What is going
Yeah.
on?
The only reasonable death is probably like the mom who had like a brain
Yeah.
aneurysm, which can happen to like anybody.
Well, it was like a boomerang aneurysm, so it was different. What was like one
Yeah, but it
in
was like
44 million?
yeah, 1 in 44 million, but that's still like 1 in 44 million, right? So
Yeah, I was wondering how she was gonna die. Like the pastry, she slips on the pastry thing or something. I don't know.
I was thinking it wasn't even the monkey,
Mm.
because all the monkeys' deaths seem very gruesome and aggressive, and she just had a brain aneurysm. Like it almost felt like once the monkey finished, it wasn't actually their mom. It was just a weird coincidence that it happened as such because it wasn't an aggressive like everybody else's death. Even from the beginning, it just seems very bloody and aggressive, and the mom was just like a freak accident, like an actual freak accident.
Hmm.
So I was like, I don't think it was a monkey, but which led to the obsession of the brothers. So there's the whole story revolves around two twin brothers. Isn't that redundant? Two twin brothers, uh, that find this monkey that was stored away in their dad's closet. Their dad ran away or just left when it was early. Only later to find out that at the beginning of the movie, it was their father who was trying to get rid of the monkey. I didn't understand that. I thought he was narrating the story. But his father was trying to get rid of the monkey because it was doing bad things, and he didn't want to come back because he didn't want to like have this around his family. So he just left. But he abandoned. It looks like he abandoned him. The two boys find the monkey, and they're just like, "What is this?" The lore begins. Um, it tells them, to twist the like. There's an instruction that says, "Turn the key and find out what happens" or whatever. And if there was ever a warning sign of like, "Don't do this," just don't do that. I don't know. It's a creepy monkey. I wouldn't do it. But then teenagers turn it. Starts leading death. One of the twins realizes that every time he turns it, people die. So he's like, "All right, don't turn it." But then he gets really mad at his brother, so he's like, "Kill my brother." He twists it, but his brother doesn't die. Their mom dies, which subsequently, you know, has the brothers estranged because one of the brothers figures it out and he's upset. So the whole movie revolves around one of the twin brothers trying to kill the other twin brothers using the monkey for some reason. I don't know why. I didn't understand the play on that one, but
It seemed like
he's
even
it was
kind
like
of possessed by the monkey, maybe.
was it?
Because he said the monkey told him that his brother killed his mom, their mom.
Yeah. Okay.
Seemed like.
So like maybe there's I don't know the I guess the good and bad part about this is that they don't really explain where the monkey came from, what the actual lore is about it. They just know that as soon as by turning the key, somebody dies. But you can't really force the monkey to kill someone in particular. It's kind of just random.
Mhm.
But it won't leave. So when they're kids, they figure out that what this does, and then they throw it away, or they throw it in a well, trying to get rid of it. But after 25 years, it comes back. So I don't like it. It doesn't really give like a good explanation of why it's following them, but it is following them. I would imagine that after you stop turning it and it's like shut off, you could just leave it alone and nothing would happen. Like it wouldn't follow you. I just don't know what the rules are with this monkey.
Yeah, because how did it kill the ant? Because it didn't have the key at the time.
That's right. It didn't have the key.
So it just decided to kill her.
I guess that's actually a good point.
Decided to just come back. I don't know.
Yeah, it's like I need to come back. This is how I'm coming back.
Maybe that's why it took 25 years, because it doesn't only has so much power on its own. I don't know.
Yeah, not sure.
So 25 years later, the monkey appears again. People start dying again, and one of the brothers just can't figure out why or whatever. It's later revealed that it's his twin brother just turning, just you know, causing mass murders. And it's funny because as soon as like your town is experiencing multiple murders like daily, let alone weekly, let alone daily, um I think something would be afoot, and I'd be like, I'm getting out of town, because people are dying a lot in our very small town. So like, what the hell's going on?
Well, like they seem like accidents, but like absurd accidents, you know? So it's like, oh, that's weird that half our town just died out of randomly, but whatever, we're gonna just keep living.
I would
Yeah, they were
leave.
just
I
acting
would
like
leave
nothing.
town.
Yeah, I was like, oh, freak accidents. People are dying. I was like, 5 in a day seems a little too coincidental. Like, let's go. It's time to go.
It seems like everybody
um,
was possessed. She's like, we've had a couple of accidents, but it's all right now. Like,
it's ridiculous, ridiculous.
like
That's the only
everybody's
thing that I
just kind
couldn't.
of like whatever about the kills.
Yeah,
Hmm.
that's I just so I couldn't fathom. Like, I feel like it'd be more urgency, which made it more comedic, in my opinion. Go like I think like anybody would think to move, leave, or do something. Um, later in the movie, there's just side characters and B plots that kind of make the move go forward. The major one being his son, his estranged son, um,
With Elijah Wood for some reason
with
is
Elijah
the
Wood for some
stepdad.
reason. That was like the weirdest like guest celebrity in this. I was like, oh,
Yeah.
Elijah Wood's awesome. Plays a great pro for like 5 effing minutes. I'm like, man, if the goal was to hate this guy, I hate this guy in like 5 minutes. Um,
A
yeah, I don't. Yeah,
father. I
it
don't.
just felt not thought through. Anyway, that B plot
Yeah, that was
moves
weird. I don't know.
moves the story forward because uh the brother is using this monkey determines somehow, or the monkey told him or something, that whoever turns the key can't die. And I guess this is just a trial and error type thing because he keeps twisting it and he can't die. So in order to get back at his brother for what he assumes kills his mother, he wants his son, right? The one of the good, let's call him the good brother, um, wants his son to turn the key with the possibility of killing, his brother, his twin brother. Um, but this entire time, he's like praying to this monkey because he wants specific people to die, and it just does not work. And I don't know how many times you have to twist that key to realize that's not how that works.
I mean, there's only
You
so many
realize,
people left in the town, you know?
yeah, I was like, you realize that it can't kill you, but you haven't realized that you can't like channel who you want to kill. So okay, whatever. Uh, but anyway, he gets so upset with the monkey that he tries to force the monkey to like kill, and then he can't like force the monkey, and that makes the monkey go crazy, like he's on drumline, like Nick Cannon drumline, and just completely rattled, like just plays the shit out of those drums.
I mean, essentially,
And
kills the rest of the town.
he kills everybody. There's a plane crash. Like at the end of it, it was just like fuck it. You know, the world is dying. Fuck the freak
Yeah.
accidents. He's just like, there's a plane crash, power outages, fires everywhere, shots being fired. Like it's an apocalypse in this small little itty
I
bitty
think
town.
he got the monkey mad.
Yeah, and he was just
That
like,
monkey's
fuck
strong.
this. You wanna fuck with me? Let me just kill everybody. Like, kill everybody but whoever you want. Ultimately, you know, the cannon gets loaded and it gets stripped. The monkey has the last laugh and kills the bad brother. Literally just a bowling ball to the head. Just gets completely smashed in an instant, which that's more believable. I
Yeah.
feel. It's a heavy ass thing loaded to your head. And
But
then
would the head come off, or would the whole body like
no,
get
I think it
pushed
was
against the wall?
yeah, I think it was like how it was. It was pushed, and I think it was
Yeah.
just thing, but it was very gruesome.
Oh yeah.
So then they're like, all right, the story is over. They walk out, just see the town completely obliterated, which I thought was funny. I'm like, okay, they're just driving around an obliterated town, like, you know, like no news people, no government agency, nobody's asking any questions. It's just small little freaking town just completely obliterated.
Well, not
Um,
even the news and government agencies or whatever. Like I don't like obviously the story's like self-contained. It's not gonna like bring in like reality to it. Um but the kid not asking any questions or like him not bringing his dad not bringing him up to speed as to like why he's like been away for like a years and years or like only sees him once a year was like kind of the part that was missing for me. Just because like in any scary movie, there's a point where it's like, I don't believe that you're seeing ghosts, and then like all this shit happens, and 30 minutes later, it's like, all right, I believe you're seeing ghosts. This is crazy. This is real. Oh my god, right? And then everybody's caught up to speed. The kid didn't really have that. It was just like he showed up, his dad got covered in blood, and then like he hears his dad talking about this crazy monkey, and then he goes to his uncle's place. Oh yeah, you have an uncle, like, and then you like barely survive like an axe coming into your head, and then you turn a key on a monkey, and it's like that's like at what point would you like fill him in on like what exactly this like supernatural like phenomena that's like cursed your family happens. Like unfortunately like the main dude's dad, so Hal and Bill's dad, didn't fill him in, right? Like he just burnt the monkey and like left. So they had to figure that out, like obviously with their mom's death and their uncle's death and like their babysitter's death. And then, but then now you have a chance to redeem your own childhood and you don't take it. And it's just, that's the only part that was like, okay, well, I guess this kid's just like going along with like every single death that happens. Like your dad's just casually and like full of blood from your realtor. And kids was like, all right, well, that's fine. You're still a dick for not telling me that I have like an uncle. It's like I'm literally covered in blood. But that,
Well, I think it was like I only have a week left with this kid, anyways. Why burden him with this weird curse thing
that's
that he
true.
probably wouldn't even believe?
Yeah. But now that we know the monkey can come back, it's like, all right, well, now we have to like.
I mean, they brought
this-
it with them in the car.
Yeah. Well, we just gotta, treat it the Annabelle way, where it's like you put it in a case,
Mm-hmm.
you leave it in the case, and you say, "Do not open this case, no matter what."
And then your friend comes over and he touch everything.
yeah, that's the worst part.
Don't turn the key. I'm gonna turn the key.
I'm gonna turn the key. I'm turning the key. Well, yeah, they're just like, that's the thing. Is just like at the end, it's just like it wraps up so quickly, and I don't know if that's like a good thing or a bad thing, but it's like, what do we do now? It's like we take it with us and we make sure nobody touches it. I was like, all right, can't you just like bury it somewhere?
Well, I'll always come back because it can
I
teleport.
know, then rebury. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Well, I think
literally-
it's like if we know where it is, then like if we're watching it, kind of thing. Like Charlie was saying with the Annabelle thing. Like, as long as we know where it is,
Well, that's the thing. Is like
it
the
can't
first
like
time they
someone
tried
else
to get
can't
rid of
use it.
the first time they tried to get rid of it, and then the bad brother goes to go find it. It was gone, and it was gone for 25 years. They don't really give us a reason or an understanding as to where it went or how long it took to make like to get back or what exactly happened. It was like it's gone, now it's back. Does it does it appear every 25 years? Because that doesn't make sense because the kids were born, their dad happened, and then their kids were born, and I guess they would like be 13 or so by the time they find it. But then an additional 25 years until they find it again. So it's like there has to be a rhyme or reason of like where this goes and how this works. But they don't. I mean, the movie that's not what it does. It's no exposition for that. I'm just saying I would try to. Maybe it's like the thing. Let's just bury it here. Let's move across the world and see how long it takes for us to get back to us, and then that's how long we calculate we have. Um, because the father melted it, and then he chopped it up, and it was like light. It was like alive. It had like blood coming out,
Mm-hmm.
but then it like reassembled this. I don't know. All that aspect, all the voodoo ish aspect of it. There isn't really like a consistency on it, so that's the only thing I would say is like, well, it just kind of exists, and it exists like ex machina style. Wherever we need you to be, it'll be. Um,
Yeah, it seems like it's definitely tied to their family kind of
oh,
thing. I don't know if it was like passed down or like the dad buying it, like that was the contract for their family to have it forever kind of thing, like them. Because
yeah,
even when the dad, like you said, the dad used the flamethrower to melt it at the beginning of the movie, and then it was back at the house, and then the son cut it up, and then it was literally like not like it feel like days afterwards. It was already back together and haunting them. So I don't know.
well, at the end of the movie, I also got confused because I'm assuming that's the angel of death. It's like
Oh yeah, what I was
person
gonna
on
ask,
a
what
horse,
was that supposed to
person on a
be?
white horse. I don't know if it's like a spirit or something. I assume it's one of the angels of death or one of the
Oh
four
yeah,
horsemen apocalypse.
I think
the
it's
pale horseman,
Yeah.
like one of the four horsemen of the
I think it's one of the
apocalypse.
four horsemen.
Yeah.
So, but what does that have to do with the monkey? Like,
He was calling himself that because he was calling himself that because he was. I think it was the like either he's attached to the pale horseman or he is the pale horseman. But obviously,
who?
was he?
The monkey?
No, hell,
Oh hell!
yeah.
Hmm.
Or
Like
it's
he was,
that
yeah. It was either like he was attaching himself to that idea, or he was calling himself that, and because like obviously his
But
like
the kid
bloodline is
saw the
cursed.
horse too.
Yeah. Well, he's his son's. He's his father's son, right?
Oh,
Hmm.
okay. So I guess they are just like the
Yeah,
death
and it's
people. I
yeah.
guess. Okay.
He also nodded at him, so it was like an acknowledgement of like,
Yeah, it's like an
Yeah.
yeah,
acknowledgement.
like I know who I am and I know where like what this is and how it's attached to me. So
It's wild. It's wild.
can't do anything but just accept it, I guess.
I guess.
Put
Yeah.
it put it in a case.
Yeah.
Don't lock the
Um,
case. Just put a little note that says don't open.
all right. So then, um, so question: if you were the angel of death or whatever, the fourth horseman, would you casually just turn the key every now and then to just be like, do your job,
To satisfy the monkey's hunger.
or just like I have to kill people, so it's that time of the quarter where I have to twist the key because you can't die and your son can't die, your wife, oh, whatever, and your wife's new husband, or they're not safe, but like
It
you're
seems
that
like
person. So would you twist? Would you turn the key?
what if you because it seems like it was like a radius thing, like only people in
Yeah,
that
that's
town
true.
were
It was
dying.
also only a radius of close to the monkey.
Yeah, so
Like,
what if
the
you like
monkey needs
go
to
in the middle of
sustain.
nowhere?
Yeah, and turn it. Oh, I don't know what the
Yeah.
rule. Yeah,
Then
the,
the monkey
the-
gets mad that he can't kill anyone.
I guess because the monkey needs to satiate its thirst for killing. So
Hmm.
even in the beginning, when they go to the pawn shop, and like it starts playing, the pawn person is the person who dies. He's the only one there, and he can't kill the dad, right? So it's
Yep.
like, I guess it is a proxy thing. I don't know. But if this is my job, I guess I have to like turn the key. I don't know. I don't know if I turn the key, be like, all right, here you go. Random person around this vicinity is about to die. I would have no pets because that would be the dogs would die constantly or whatever.
Is
Uh,
is a pet enough for the monkey though? Like, does
or
that satisfy the monkey?
what if you did this like yeah, well I don't know, like is it just general life? I don't know. What if you did it like morally or ethically? Like if you go to like a prison for like
Okay, I
hard
feel like this is
criminals,
getting.
like hard criminals, and then you twist it there. You know what I
I
mean?
don't know.
Like
I feel like this is getting to a weird place.
Now you're just going
yeah,
off the rails here.
Yeah.
uh, you get hired by the state. Um, anyway, all right. Anything else? All right. We'll move forward with our ratings.
Oh, we didn't
Uh,
acknowledge Adam Scott is also in this movie.
Yeah, he's the dad
Yeah,
at the
he's the
beginning.
dad.
who the fuck is Adam Scott? Oh, the
Dad
dad.
from the beginning. Yeah, he's
Parks and
Ben
Rec.
from
I thought it was about
Parks
to
and
be
Rec.
him the entire movie, and he's in for like fucking 5 minutes. These people, these major actors are here for like 5 minutes, and they just move on. They could have gotten Margot Robbie to be the stepmom at that point. Like, like if you're gonna go pull out big names as such, you know. um, but yeah, that's true. So we'll move on to ratings. What do you see in a movie in theater and possible sequels to this? Charlie, let's start with you.
Yeah, this was fine. It was like kind of down the middle. So I give this 2.5 bowling ball heads out of 5. And yeah, if you're looking for like a kooky fun movie to watch, don't set your expectations super high, but hey, if you have an hour and a half and you're like, hey, let's go watch another kind of comedic horror film, go watch The Monkey if you choose to, or if not, just wait for it to stream and stream at home. In terms of, I don't think there's gonna be a Monkey 2. I don't know. I don't. Maybe it just didn't hit well. If it hit better, or if it was like got better reviews, maybe there would have been a Monkey 2. But I don't think there's going to be.
What? What would be monkeys too?
Monkey 2 would be like, oh, um, the son grows up, but then he doesn't tell his kid about it, and then his kid finds it or some shit like that. I don't know. Or they lose it, like they're on family vacation. They're like, ha ha ha, like us and the monkey, and then like, you know, um, they get robbed, including their hotel room gets robbed, including the monkey, and now they have to find the monkey again. But then the person who finds it starts turning it. People start dying. You have like the gory factor there. And then that's it's a whole heist thing.
Oh, the monkey
Maybe the
summer
lore,
vacation or something?
yeah. It's not like you got to stick to whatever you have in terms of like the short story. You can expand the lore of the monkey as well, or whatever. That would be my guess to the Monkey 2. But if you want the full story, hire me.
Okay.
What about you, Chris?
I would give this 3 buses of headless cheerleaders out of 5. And yeah, like there was like this is definitely like a weird dark comedy. Like there were multiple scenes where people like they saw a dead body and they were just cheering about it. Like people were like,
Yeah,
"Yeah, let's go." It was like, "What? Am I missing something?" Like the town was like in on like they were okay with it. Same with like there's a scene with like there are multiple funerals at the beginning when they're kids, and this priest is just like the worst at like his like eulogy speeches. And it's like, oh shit, she doesn't have a head or something like that. It's very, very, very like absurd kind of dark comedy. But yeah, this is a fun one. I don't know, like nothing particularly like you need to go out and see this in theaters for me at least, but probably wait and for a sequel. Um, yeah, I do like your like vacation idea. Then you can get different kills from like a resort. Like, oh, they're skiing, like the ski lift behead someone, or like there's a shark in the pool or something. I don't know. Like just do like absurd.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, you can definitely get like crazy. I mean, you can get crazy with it,
Yeah.
especially if you're trying to keep this vibe of like not serious scary movie. Then yeah, make 2, make 3, make 4, make the monkey 5. Uh, the monkey has a twin, or the monkey 5, the monkey's son, or something like that. I don't know.
Or it's like they do like the Annabelle like animal like the monkey origins where they
Yeah.
like trace back where the monkey came from,
Yeah,
like
exactly.
I mean, a prequel wouldn't be bad, you know?
Yeah, and it's like before toys and stuff, so it's like I don't even know. I can't even think.
It'd be like a Chucky origin story
No,
where
it's like
somebody
a
just
man.
used
It's like a
their
wooden man. It's like a wooden manually turned monkey or something like that.
hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah. What about you, Eddie?
uh I give this 2.5 random, just all random killings out of 5. These the way people died in this movie was wild. So if you want to go see it, definitely go see it for that. Um, they're pretty funny and they're pretty outlandish. Um, as far as go watching, I wouldn't go watch it in a movie theater. Granted, it's only an hour and a half. It's more of a distraction movie, just like right before you go to sleep or something. Like it's not like the something you'd go see in a movie theater. Again, I do a prequel. I do like a origin story, not necessarily a sequel. Although that sequel idea is not that bad, like the continuation, because we know there's a continuation. Like, what happens if there's no, like, what happens if the next kid doesn't have a kid? Does the curse go to the next person, like a random person, or does it end there? Like, does your bloodline have to die for it to die? Like
Mhm.
these questions, you know? But I think a prequel would do good just because this movie doesn't really lend a lot of information. So just getting that information would probably be a good movie too. But we'll see. We'll see how it goes. Um, but if there's anything scenarios, any questions we didn't answer, you let us know. Would you turn the key and be a murderer? You know, scot free though. You wouldn't know. You nobody would tell. You can email us your responses at straighttoPLD@gmail.com. You can also follow us at StraightToPLD on X, Threads, Blue Sky, YouTube, and Twitch. And that concludes this week's episode of Straight to PLD.
I'm Charlie.
I'm Chris.
And now I'm Eddie. Thanks for joining. We'll see you next time.